Today on Fresh Vintage Garage, we're checking out the Zenith Z5 scan tool. Small but mighty. We're going to dive in and show you all the features right now. This is Tom with Fresh Vintage Garage. Like I said, we're talking about the Zenith Z5. It's a potent little action-packed unit, and just wanted to shout out the Z7. If you haven't seen, this is the bigger brother to the Z5. We have a video, not only a comparison on which one you should buy, but we also have a separate video on this guy. So definitely go check that out. You can find that video link in the description of the video you're watching now. I'm just going to set the Z7 up here. A whole host of features here, everything from topology. It does have CAN and DOIP support, a bunch of service reset functions. I'm going to stop talking because I want to jump outside and get into the car. We're going to get plugged in and show you all the capabilities right now. Real quick before we plug in, just wanted to mention this guy comes with a very respectable cable, and we're not making that up. That is actually longer than I am tall kind of thing. It is that long. And then also there is a what's called the ZMA 101. This is a separate adapter. This just gives more expansion into CAN support and DOIP applications. So if you're doing a lot of heavier, deeper diagnostics on newer vehicles, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, you probably want to pick this up. It is sold separately. But that being said, let me plug in under the dash, and then we're going to show you all the diagnostics. We are plugged in, and we have the ignition on. The engine's not running in our Subaru Forester. So let's dive right into the diagnosis section here. And we'll just search for Subaru. Let's do automatic selection. And it says demo mode. We've registered this thing twice now, so we're not sure why it says demo mode, but we have our VIN, auto VIN very quickly, so let's do OK. And we'll just go ahead and hit, I want to do this twice because we have topology here. I want to show you this real quick and how fast it's going, and then I want to jump right into the topology. Still going. There we go. And let's actually go to the topology. Okay, so it did the same thing, and you can see how smooth this is. It is running Android 9, so it's an older version of Android, but it's still very, very stable and runs very quickly. Nice visual representation. I actually want to get out of here and show you. There we go. Let me exit. I just want to show you the visual topology, and let's hit scan. So it is scanning, and you can see how fast it's going. I will say newer cars definitely move through the computers a lot faster than I have an 05 CRV. That one generally takes a little bit longer. And what this is doing, if you don't already know, it's actually touching every single computerized module in the car. It's out there looking for anything it can find on the actual wiring harness, and then just calls out green is good, red you may have an issue, and gray is actually not applicable. It is not in this vehicle. Let's click on one here. So we have a body control module, and if we wanted to investigate this, we can just click on start. And let's actually look at the data trouble code analysis. So this is a breakdown of what's going on in the actual each individual code. If we wanted to hit erase, we can go ahead and hit erase. Let's see what we have when we hit more. So we can create a report. We can actually do data analysis and an actuation test. Let's see if the car blows up when we click on actuation test here. Okay, so we can't do an oh, we can do, okay, I just need to hit the, forgive me, I'm at a sharp angle here, so sometimes hitting the buttons is hard. We'll see what happens here. And so if we wanted to do various, so we have heater, cock valve output, lock actuation. Let's just do, let's see what this does. Having dry fingers makes a big difference too. So let's see here. Rear gate, shift lock, solenoid. So there's a lot of stuff we can do in here. And then let's go back out. Wait a minute, do I need to choose select? I do need, this is operator error on my part, I apologize. So let's do on. We just heard the doors, and we'll do it again. We'll hear them click. There we go. Back at the main topology screen here, I just wanted to show you, if you touch on the gray areas, it says that it is the air conditioning system, but anything in gray, there we go, connection with selected system cannot be established. There we go. So we'll just click on green. Airbags. We hope that it has airbags. Important SRS safety system information, disclaimer. So at a glance, it's basically giving you, I mean, you're very used to this here. You've seen this on a lot of different scan tools, but really nice to give that visual representation. Let's dive in here and look at, let's see if we can find the actual data trouble code reading area. So we have data analysis, record review, actuation test. Okay, so this is most likely where the individual data trouble codes are, and we can erase them like we looked at earlier in the video. I'm going to hit back, and then Let's do an actuation test. I believe this is going to take us into the same area we were just in. But while we're waiting, has an 8-inch screen and I believe 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of memory. Yeah, this is the same area that we were just in. So we'll get back out of here. And we'll go back out. Now let's go back to the main home screen. Let's look for, okay, this is what I was looking for. We wanted to actually break down and look at each individual section so you can see and manually choose any of these sections. So let's just go to the engine here and we'll do okay. And so we're just going to focus in on the actual engine control management and like the emissions and stuff like that. And I want to click on this because what this is doing is giving us the ability to see all the data, and you can swipe left to right. If you want to go full screen, that does 2 things. It gives you just a big old long list. You can see all the information in here, and it also gives you the ability to graph. So I'm just going to choose a few of these here at random. I'm not sure what the upper graphing limit is, but I want to see graph. Let's see what we can do here. Go. Now you can see this is giving you more of a like a standard graph. I want to see if we can overlap. Yeah, let's see if overlap. I want to start the car and see what it does. There we go. Kind of gives you an idea of the capability here if you're chasing some kind of electrical issue or random gremlin in the vehicle. Let me just flip the gas here. There we go. That's pretty responsive. We've seen other scan tools have like a lag per se, but this feels like it's pretty much instantly coming out of the computer. So really cool. I'll go ahead and turn the car off. Yeah, we'll turn the ignition back on, forgive the beeping. But really cool to see there. Let's get back out of here. Just want to quickly go back in here and show you a little bit more data. We'll go full screen. And I know I skimmed through these, but you can see how much you can actually extract out of the computer and the, the actual live readings. And also, if you wanted to record those, you can just hit record and take either like a photo or actually do like a data recording, like an actual data record session, and play that back. So if you're trying to really dig in and investigate some random thing happening with the car. And actuation test, special functions. Let's look at special functions here. So we have engine oil change, and let's click on engine oil change. There we go. So that actually gives you the process for the turning the, what does this say? Reset the oil dilution ratio in the following process. Oh, so it's just basically a long way of saying reset the oil reset lights. So let's get back out of here and go back to the main screen. I'm going to click home and stick around. We're actually going to unbox this guy a little later in the video because you need to see this case that we call the football kind of thing. Let's click on close. There we go. So here are all our service reset functions. And off the top of my head, I don't remember how many there are. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oh, I already messed them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 28 of them, it looks like. And you can see everything here. Whoops, as I click on that, shouldn't have done that. But injector coding, seat activation. It's amazing that this is more and more of a thing, but in newer vehicles, it's very much just like the throttle adaptation. Injector tests, we get a lot of comments on that, and the list goes on. So really cool to see the amount of stuff in here. And let's go to our remote support real quick. That is where if you have an issue, they can just jump in via TeamViewer. Zenith can come into the scan tool and make sure that things are working right and actually watch what's happening. And let's look at OBD2. That's kind of the generic, just check engine light kind of thing. Let's jump in here and see how this actually functions. Okay, so we have a diagnostic trouble code. I'm assuming this is what we're, yeah, and full disclosure, the check engine light is not on in the Subaru here, but if we wanted to just literally get an OBD2 code and or erase it to turn the check engine light off, we can do that here. And let me go back in there because I double clicked the button. Now, I will mention, this guy has a little bit of a small battery, but anytime you're plugging in over here on the top corner of the screen, you can see where it's charging off the car. So that's a good sign to see. And we'll show you, stick around, we'll show you the battery in this thing later in the video. So the readiness test, I'm assuming this is like an emissions test. Yeah, I mean, it's giving you a lot of data here for what feels like general emissions stuff. And let's see here, tester component control. Let's see what's in here. Well, that says fail, so I don't know that we actually tested anything. But I'm gonna say we're just gonna disregard that because I don't know that we just tested anything. But vehicle information, if you wanted to see what year, make, and model, there's your VIN. There we go. And let's go back out to the home screen. Let me jump back into that software, but just to shout out, this is basically an Android tablet with the Zenith software on it. I mean, you have everything you can see there. If you own an Android phone, then you basically recognize all of these icons. But the actual Zenith software is just another app on here. So let me restart it, and we'll show you a few other features. Now, if you wanted to use the J2534 capability, it is right here. And let's see, functionalize, use the scan tools, pass-through device, blah, blah, blah. And it is working on connecting now Zenith as a communication device from the PC. So if you wanted to actually use this in this manner, this is where you would do it. Get out of here, hit OK. And let's take a look in settings. I mean, not much to see there. There's the serial number and the data and stuff there. But, you know, let's take a look at the actual unboxing. Let's go downstairs and take a look at this guy, because, I mean, overall, it's really solid unit so far, but we want to show you what's inside the actual case and what you're getting for the money you spend with the Zenith. Let's jump downstairs and we'll show you everything you get right now. Wanted to take a moment and mention our website, scantooldepot.com. Whether you need TPMS equipment, batteries, testers and chargers, smoke machines, ADAS equipment, scan tools, and a whole bunch more, check it all out at scantooldepot.com today. Let's get to this unboxing, shall we? And we appreciate you watching. Just wanted to shout out, please like and subscribe. And that being said, we're going to do the unboxing, or should we say the unbriefcasing. And what we mean is we lovingly call this thing the football. If you don't know what the football is, definitely go like Google nuclear football on your phone or something, and I'm sure the FBI will be at your house soon. All my dumb jokes aside, this thing has some very cool clip. I don't know why I like these things so much, but it just, boop, just like an old school briefcase. We will make note that this thing is huge, and I will say for the Z7, let me just grab the Z7 here. For something this size, you know, it makes a little bit more sense, but the Z5 is not tiny, but it's definitely small. And here's the cutout, so take a look at that. That's how much space you have. I mean, I get that they're reusing the same case, but let me show you what's in here, because when you open this up, there's a lot of stuff going on here. If you're a mobile mechanic, or maybe you're someone who just wants to pack some tools in your case, this is actually really handy because you have a bunch of mesh space. You could put pretty much anything in here. What's down here is actually the cable was there, and then we actually had the, let me grab it, the ZMA 101. Just shouting it out in the video again, this is a separate item. We just happen to have it tucked in there. It fits in there very, very nicely, but this is a separate item, so you do have to buy that separately. In here, we have a whole host of things. We have our cables, and actually, you can actually charge this guy off of a car battery in this case. And then this is, if you put the handle on the back of the Zenith, you can actually hold it kind of like a shield or something, or just like a tablet on your hand. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here, little stickers. And then when I was mentioning these earlier, there's little locks. You can actually lock this guy, and there's one key for each one, so you really can even feel more like James Bondish if you want. What else is in here? Let's see. We have another USB-C, USB-A charging cable, and there's a bunch of little odds and ends in here that I won't show you. The actual owner's manual is in there. This guy is the main charger. Now, we will make note, and I do want to show you the battery in just a moment, so stick around for that. This is the main charger. This is almost like a laptop charger, but this is the primary charging device. Keep in mind, this is not wireless. This is not Bluetooth. You did see that gigantic cable that we had, the 8-foot-long cable. That will charge as you are plugged into the car, so keep that in mind. This is that cable I was just talking about. And, of course, we have the Z5. Let me throw this on the, or set this, not throw it, set it on the ground, and I want to show you the battery in this guy. And forgive me, if I had one little tiny little gripe about this whole thing, let me just zoom in. There is a cool kickstand, there is a camera, and a stylus, but let me show you this battery. And I will note, this does come, it doesn't come with the screwdriver, that's our screwdriver, but it has one screw we put in here, just to keep this on here. Now keep in mind, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. This has a small battery, but you would be plugged into a car, so you have to compare how long would this battery last to how often do I have it plugged into the car. This is a 3,200 milliamp hour battery, and I'm not trying to gripe about this, but this phone has a 4,300 milliamp hour battery in it. So my smartphone actually has a bigger battery in it than this guy. That being said, I kind of think this is neat because me personally, I'm going to buy like 4 of these things and I'm going to hot swap them throughout the day if I need to. If I get in a situation where I need a quick, boom, 100% charge in like a minute, I just take the back off, throw the battery in, swap it, and you're good to go. Plus, you're going to be charging this thing from a car anytime you're plugged in. So how big is the battery issue? I'll leave you to decide. Put a comment. Do you like it? Do you hate it? That being said, there's 4 screws. I'm just going to put this one screw back in here. I really give them credit for making a product that's different. And I don't mean different in a bad way. This thing feels very durable. It feels very rough and tumble ready. I'm not going to drop it on the floor, but if I feel like if we did, it'd be fine. The Android 9 is a little old, but it's still very, very capable. And the Android 9 10, 11 series was actually a very, very solid, robust operating system in the Android days. And I speak as someone who has a Pixel, Google Pixel phone here. So overall, big props to Zenith for sending this over. They sent us over, sponsored a video. We appreciate them doing that. Taking a look at this thing, it's got a lot of unique functionality. And this is where like the tech, I mean, when's the last time you saw an actual, that's for a Cat 5, Cat 6 cable. You rarely ever see that on a scan tool anymore. And then there is a USB connectivity port here. And then there's even more over here, including, if memory serves correct, there is, USB-A out and a USB-C and a micro SD card slot right there. So this is almost a tablet with scan tool software on it. So bravo to Zenith for trying and building something unique and different. It says designed and assembled by Bluebird, and then the parent company is EZDS. But we'll leave the link for this along with the actual Z7 video, this guy right here. If you want to check out the bigger brother and see just a tiny bit more horsepower, a tiny bit more everything, bigger screen, more memory, blah, blah, blah. We'll leave the link for that video along with the comparison where we compared the two just to show you which one, if you're thinking about buying, which one's right for you kind of thing. With that, we appreciate you watching. If you like scan tools, if you like shop equipment, if you like keeping your cars fixed up and certified fresh on the road, Fresh Vintage Garage, your channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.